Man, so if I'm going to be anything in this world, I'm going to be the legendary nouan, which is a great thing because it's an archetype for those individuals who follow Christ. Never forsake your covering for fame. Many things in this world you might have to do. You could be a light, but not a distraction. Distractions get crowded with other ones. You don't need those. That's not tactical or efficient. Take, for instance, celebrities and the headaches they go through because they can't get their privacy. And if you lose your privacy, so there goes your secrecy also. And there goes the tabloids on the tabloid news. You the talk of the town. This is a nightmare. Fuck that. I don't want any reputation whatsoever. Not a good one, nor a bad one. I'll just stay a no one. This is wine and a blessing also. Consider the things that happened to Christ. You don't think he ever got tired? Philippians said that he'll make us as the stars in the sky, but in what way? Thank God we don't shine in this world though. Even though we do, people don't notice. Considering the blind, imagine if you were what do they call this? Imagine if you were dogpiled by the blind. Not of the sight, but of the mind. Many questions will come and follow thereafter, but none of the answers you give will do any justice because the memory of a locust don't exist. Therefore, they ask many questions, and all these is distractions that waste your time. Beware of pouring your water into empty vessels that have a hole in the bottom. It goes one ear and out the other one. But at the same time, save a little room for hope. For individuals that are trying, and in their mind, it might come together, even though there are no signs of their brain operating. I've been there once before. These things are considered the deep state. Some individuals are trying. I would like to talk about the legendary Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson spoke of something very unique to me that I thought was great. Mike Tyson spoke about, before he was famous, and many celebrities do, but Mike Tyson really was profound in expressing like how nobody would F with him, for one reason or the other. Not in terms of boxing whatsoever. I'm just talking about friendships, so on and so forth. Much is the same for many black men and many other individuals, I assure. I think of certain bands such as Green Day. When you're a band that nobody's heard of for some reason, because you're not popular, then obviously you must suck. This was the same for Mike Tyson before fame. And then he said when he became world champion, he got the love of the world. Everybody loved him. Everybody loved him all of a sudden, like it was some overnight success. And he said this thing was very detrimental, to his character. And though I could kind of understand, I couldn't understand the way he could. So meditating on this thing, I thought about my circumstances, and nobody will fuck with me, not even my family. And all of a sudden, when things happen like this, the script must flip. And before you're about to blow or you get blessed, somehow vultures come around in the form of females that look very beautiful and enticing. It's almost like they could smell the scent of money in the air. Watch out for those. Such is the same as individuals also. Individuals that would disagree and tell you no in a heartbeat. This is healthier than coming into fame and everyone around you being a yes man just to take at your resources or a little bit of your glow. So, it's not really that bad to be alone. If Jesus only had 12 disciples, how many females can I have of interest? Really, not even one. You talking about 11 disciples? Out of all of those individuals in the world, he actually had a room full, but he only picked 11, considering his discernment and his heart also. If you a player, that's something to think about. What are your resources? What are reasons that people hang around you? What are your associations also? Do they really agree with you? What type of things do they say behind your back? Do you even care or notice? Or are you like living that life, living that shine, not recognizing that people around you aren't of the same mind? And if they aren't of the same mind and you have things that which can be taken or taken advantage of, why wouldn't they hang out with your ass? Jesus went to Calvary on a donkey. Mike Tyson expressed this thing, and even though people had many expressions about his personality, he seems quite eloquent, doesn't he? And how he is able to communicate and articulate the stresses that he went through. We sat by and watched and see him go through many things. And how many of us was there for his support? But many of us was there to comment about him going to jail, wasn't we? Or the allegations of him beating Robin Gibbons, a woman that looked like she weighed 100 pounds soaking wet. One touch of Mike Tyson, she would bruise easy. So we know these things were fake. But people had a lot to say about him, and they also have a lot to say about the black man, and how did those things change according to resources or money? It's better to discern before you come into things, so that when you come into things, know that nobody was with you when you was on your rise, so nobody is going to be with you when you have it. Certainly nobody's going to be with you when you fall also. This world is against you. Real niggas is separated out. We have to be. You say anything that's true, they call you Tupac here. Especially if you got black skin. But why must your skin must be black, considering first fruits of the Bible? This is God's country. Wonder if I'm protected. I realized that it would break my mind to reach some type of world success, not having any friends to having too many friends, and my phone ringing all the time. I would fucking hate it and hate everybody around me, considering how celebrities act out in public. On days they don't really feel like it, because people are full of shit and they know it. You ain't with them every single day. And we wonder why they act certain ways, even though they seem like they have it all. Maybe they didn't get richer, maybe they got poor. This is the thing that Mike Tyson seemed to express. That these resources and Mike Tyson's big heart that he has for others, to share his things and give also. If you're sharing and giving those things to people who don't give a fuck about you, then they're only going to see you as a resource. That's it. A resource with personality, and everything you say, they'll steal also and take credit for it. And you ain't really tripping because you living off the love, but they not. They impoverished in the mind, and they try and take everything you got. There's many ways to rob a man, actually, if you're patient. So, how would you feel? I pose this question. If you had overnight success, all your life, nobody was fucking with you. You barely even have friends. Then all of a sudden, when you come into some resources, you can't get rid of people altogether. And imagine those girls that came around right before. And you don't think it's a hive, considering Whitney Houston saying, I'm every woman. The psychology of spirits, if they're hived together, and how information passes. Principality of the air is Satan. Beware of his devices. Slander and bearing false witness. What put Christ up on a cross? The one that you carry. And if those dots connect, and everything you have, and everything you know, and everything you do is all known, and if these are government block agencies, and these government block agencies are spirits, you ain't never seen a CIA office or an FBI building. But they got one in every city, allegedly. How can this be possible? These are spirits. You don't see FBI vehicles that you see in the movies. These things are provided of the mind, considering spirits. You laying next to the enemy or sleeping next to the enemy. Two of those things are wrong because sleep is the cousin of death. And you speaking a lot because you in your feelings. This is why individuals buy prostitutes or deal with women in red. And this is harvested from underage girls on up. Because you got to catch them early before they ruin. You know a pimp knows the mileage. You understand? And this creates a wheel or a loop. That high school kid can't compete with them celebrities. Or them old, or them middle-aged men. That's ripe in that age that's going after girls in their high school. It just won't work. Resources and all. These men are pretty talented. They could do what they want. You stuck in a situation as a man that can't get a girlfriend since high school, and you know if you get resources or money, because it seems like that's what you competing against, because nobody give a fuck about looks when they trying to eat, right? And these individuals they dating don't look like much nor act like much, but they got a lot of things going for them. Then you're gonna go after resources also. What type of lifestyles will you fall into? And will you ever get the girl? And what is the cost? A lot of individuals get turned out just to get a girlfriend so they can have the resources to afford them. And if you don't have none of that, then you ain't getting nothing. And these females, no matter how much they like you, they keep going after bad situations. And they got crazy ex-boyfriends always, don't they? And you inviting these chicks inside of your house along with their business, even though they left it, turning you into John Wick accidentally just to have a relationship, and you got your problems also. Consider the finances and economics of this economic system that's not so grand. And you sitting there without a brotherhood and you ain't got no damn fam. You can't even get a pound. Shit is fucked up, son. How would you feel? This creates the will, the everlasting chains of darkness, or that loop in the existential world coming from the psychological, manifesting. And if you coming up, whether male or female, you got oppressions that you can't get out of the second you were born. You got to have a plan, and a plan can't be planned, yo. So you got to have God. Peace and blessings be with you all. How would you feel if you reached overnight success? What things did you recognize, and what things were you aware of? It's time for you to become conscious and recognize your surroundings, whether you got things or not, just for safety purposes and loving thy neighbor, keeping your area safe and being aware for others that are moving like deer. Don't be unconscious. Animals are more conscious than humans are. We say that we're aware and we don't have problems, but the world is diagnosed with attention deficit. Shit I got in the 80s, but really, it seems like they have it now and I don't have it at all. This thing appears to be spiritual. All of these things are factored into the individual. If one individual has it, so does all of them. The difference is how things manifest. It's not what you do. We all know it's how you do them. Everybody could get wild for the night. There's a difference between love and sex. One thing is temporary and is 2D and flat and has dead ends. The other has depth, like the dimension. It's more intimate and intrinsic, and there's value also. What type of company are you entertaining? And what do they present? And what do they bring? Make sure that it's honesty first. How would you feel if you reached overnight success? Would you be able to deal spiritual warfare with the entire world that's coming after resources from the CIA and FBI operatives and pillow talks and spirits that surround you on every single side? Know everything you think and everything you say also. You got to be prepared both inside and outside. Then you need God also. Make sure you have Christ to save your ass because you went to Calvary on a donkey. Peace and blessings with you all. How would you feel?